When I was 24 weeks pregnant with twins, I was assaulted by the father of my children.
As a teenager, I got involved with a boy, and after 9 years of a relationship that was full of emotional and some physical abuse, he shot me. And I was 24 at the time.
When my daughter was 7 years old, she came to me and let me know that my brother-in-law had been molesting her.
My 15-year-old sister was home alone, doing what a 15-year-old is supposed to do, on a beautiful summer day, and somebody came into our home and brutally raped and murdered her.
I was walking home from the library and a man jumped out of his car and ran up behind me and tried to pull down my shorts.
I was holding my, at the time, 1-year-old when he attacked me. He threw me onto the bed, he choked me, he landed on my stomach, which caused trauma to my womb.
And then we just hear yelling and screaming.
My sister was stabbed over 70 times, raped, beaten to death, and laid there for up to 2 hours before she actually died.
And then all I see is him push my mom into the bed as my baby sister is in her arms.
And he chased me through my house, and that's all I could think of is I need to get safe, I need to call someone, and I need to get my daughter and I out of the house.
After he had pushed me down, it caused one of my twins' sac to rupture early, which caused them to be born prematurely.
Because our mom locked the doors in our room, and we stayed in there with our grandpa as our mom went away in the ambulance.
He stayed hovering over me until I jumped up and ran after him, which led the police to believe he intended to rape.
I think my first reaction would be what most people would say is to go, because he was actually at the house, would be to go kill him. That's not what happens. You just want to get your child safe.
Yeah, we're like worried that our mom wasn't going to be okay, and
the only thing I remember feeling is I do not want to die.
I was 11, and I knew that day my world changed.
You're in shock, complete shock. So your feelings as a mom, you obviously think you've heard stories and you think that you would be feeling some way, one way or the other, and you just go numb. You just go, because it's unbelievable that it would ever happen to me and our family, and to her, that it would ever happen to her.
Scared. I thought that my twins were going to die.
But then what do you do? That's the big question. What do we do now?
The Family Justice Center is a partnership involving the District Attorney's Office, Health and Social Services, local law enforcement, and a myriad of community-based organizations operating in a single location with the singular purpose of helping victims of domestic violence, sexual assault, elder abuse, and human trafficking.
I see the Family Justice Center as being a central location where survivors can come and help new victims and help them navigate through all of the changes and things that are going to happen in their lives as they rebuild.
The whole process is scary and confusing. You don't know what questions to ask. You don't know where to go. You need that center and one person or people to guide you through the whole process.
I mean, I understand why the justice system works the way it does, but unfortunately for us, it was a 3.5-year long process. So the Family Justice Center to us would be a more streamlined place that we could go instead of having to go to all the different places that we did and go all over town and be in a better environment for not just myself, but not just for my daughter, but for myself and my other children and my husband and all of us that went through this.
A Family Justice Center in our community would provide a lot of resources and make it so that the situation that's already happened, or the bad situation, might make it a little easier.
Our goal in the Family Justice Center is to ensure the healing, the empowerment, and the health of victims of violent crime. We do this first by holding the criminal accountable for their offense. We also coordinate wraparound services for the victims and for their children in a serious effort to break the cycle of violence. We know that far too many children grow up in violent homes in our community, and this impacts their future in profoundly negative ways. One of the most important strategies of the Family Justice Center is to break this generational cycle of violence by helping kids.
I would say that if you know that you're not safe, but you're not okay with getting help or involving law enforcement, there are many other resources. You can reach out to anyone. If we had the Family Justice Center, we would be available to provide hopefully non-threatening services that can help to educate, so that when you are ready to get law enforcement involved to stop the violence and get the offender out of your life, then you would be ready and you'd have the support in your corner already at that time.
Or the first time they hurt you, to get out right away and not wait, so it doesn't end up so bad.
There's nothing too small that needs assistance. Everybody needs assistance.
Typically, we went 33 years without my sister's case being solved. And my message would be, never give up hope.
When a crime like this occurs, it's not just against my daughter. This is a crime against all of us as a family. And the Justice Center to us would mean that maybe another family wouldn't have to go through what we went through, and that they would have a safe place to go and continue the journey that we had to.